It is day 8 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. This one comes from Joe Mendoza, 23 on Blue Sky. Which episodes, not counting missing episodes, do each of you know the most, almost memorized, and the least? Is there ones that you can basically recite? Like how many, ones that you just watched a billion times and could just almost recite
most of them.
Yeah. Is there any that stand out?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the least. That's probably The Awakening.
Yeah.
The Awakening. Interesting.
I seem to recall when Davison was getting his first run on KSPS that somehow I missed The Awakening.
Uh-oh.
And it was years before I saw it, and I think that was one that I never bothered finishing the Target book.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I know it's the Malice, I know it's Little Hodcomb and things like that, but I don't really remember much else. So that's going to be my least, I think.
Is it because did you, because oftentimes KSPS TV in Spokane, Washington would air a 4-part story.
A 4-part.
If it was a 2-part, it would follow right along. And did you okay, yay, Warriors of the Deep. Well, there we go. That's tonight's Doctor Who episode and off. And then that's
maybe
how you missed it? Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, I don't really remember 1980, whatever, well enough, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm. My least is Warriors Gate because I watched it bounced hard off it because I was 16 or whatever,
right?
And then just never really got back to it. I keep meaning to watch it again to give it a fair shake, and I never do. So I've basically seen it once.
Wow.
I mean, we might have done a commentary on it or something, but that's not quite the same thing.
No, not
you're
yet.
kind of watching it, but not really.
Wow.
Or even recently when I was in Vancouver at Warren's, when we were watching The Twin Dilemma. I haven't seen that in I don't know how long.
Same here. Yeah.
Stephen, what's your least? Because you're the one that watched more than either of us.
I've gone
anyone
through
else on Earth.
So many pilgrimages that let's face it, a lot of the 60s stuff isn't as familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna that maybe Joe said not counting missing episodes. You might almost count the Web of Fear and Enemy of the World and that, just because they come back and we used to, as kids, the three of us I think have this in common where we would just watch a lot of these things on a loop. I certainly did because I taped it and I just literally on a loop. I would just watch them all the time, and those obviously came after that.
Even beyond that, the not missing episodes stuff, growing up never seeing episode 3 of Planet of the Daleks, for example, or episode 1 of Invasion of the Dinosaurs.
Yeah, those are good actually. Actually those two are huge. They just seem weird to me. Planet of the what is this? Because I watched Planet of the Daleks. It was bad. I didn't even like the story, and I still watched it a lot.
Well, in the 90s, I had access to bootlegs of things like those, so I did see them. Probably more than I saw The Awakening, to be honest.
Right.
So those thankfully stick out a little bit more in my brain than otherwise they would have. Because as we've said before, and just to make sure we explain it now, back when Lionheart was doing the distribution, and they would sell the omnibus versions. So Planet of the Daleks and Invasion of the Dinosaurs, for example, episode 3, episode 1, respectively, only existed in black and white. And Lionheart only wanted to sell the color stuff. So we would see episodes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 of Planet of the Daleks as an omnibus, and you have this giant leap in the story when they're going to be imprisoned, and they're all of a sudden they're out, and we don't know how.
No.
Or episode 1 of Invasion of the Dinosaurs, aka Invasion. We're there in London with full-on dinosaurs. We don't know what's going on. And episode 1 of Dinosaurs, in a lot of ways, isn't as important because it's just with the unit stuff and the internment, imprisonment. But we never knew any better unless we picked up the Target book or something.
Yeah, I never noticed. I mean, only a year, let's face it, a few times after I watched Planet of the Daleks, I was thinking, wait a second. How did he get out? How did he get out of the... Was he in the city 3... And to their credit, they did a pretty good job at not only just they didn't just butt episode 2 and episode 4 up together. Like they removed the scar tissue of a lot of other scenes that would have connected to part 3.
How much of that is Terry Nation just going so slowly or being so repetitive that it didn't really seem like it was absent?
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, you're right. I remember reading the novelization for Invasion of the Dinosaurs, or the Dinosaur Invasion as it was.
Same here. Yeah.
And noticing, well, first off, I don't recognize any of these scenes. Secondly, I mean, not that I had seen the story yet. Secondly, why are they describing the Doctor with white hair? Clearly he has dark curly hair and a scarf.
I was pushing up my 12-year-old glasses to that one too.
Not sure what's happening here. So, because there's only one guy who's Doctor Who. So
I did the same thing with the novelization of The Smugglers. I had Troughton
really?
in my head when I read the book, even though it was obviously Hartnell's Doctor.
Wow. Well, so did Innes Lloyd at that point.
Ooh, zing.
Zing. It's those weird, like, oddly enough, even the orphan episodes that were on, like, the the Hartnell years and Troughton years VHS tapes that came out in the early 90s, I had those and watched those a lot. So oddly enough, like the Web of Fear Part 1, Enemy of the World 3, like those actually seem pretty familiar to me. But it's the Ice Warriors. Like I had to buy that on VHS. I want to say 1999.
Oh, wow.
That was like the last new to me story that I had ever seen until Modern Who came back, essentially. And so the Ice Warriors seems very unfamiliar to me. Very unfamiliar to me.
And that was toward the end of the VHS run, wasn't it?
Very much so. Yeah. Came out in that clamshell case that I got rid of for some reason. I don't know why I got rid of my purchased Doctor Who
because you're not
VHS.
a proper fan. That's why.
I guess not, Warren. I guess not.
I think we're talking most. A lot of classic Who just kind of jumbles up into one thing. But Deadly Assassin would probably have to be my go-to because I've watched it
not
more than most.
Not Pyramids, Warren? No.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. It's a tie between those two because Pyramids is a while. And also, I've probably quoted more of Pyramids, not by a long chalk.
There it is.
Well, centuries that.
Marcus, your hands. Yeah. What about you, Chris? Most.
Oh man.
I mean, it's always going to be classic. Let's face it.
Yeah, of course it is.
We've had several years to catch up on it. Yeah.
I think the answer is the Five Doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Which is really, really weird, given Five Doctors comes not much before the Awakening.
Because you probably saw it on original broadcast. I missed out because for a few years they skipped it on KSPS. I never saw it until like 87 or 88. I think it was.
Still can't remember if it came first or if it came later.
Right.
But I still remember watching the Five Doctors with the arbitrary cliffhangers. Like when they took the movie.
Oh, you watched the 4-part version. Wow.
It was the complete opposite of everything we got on PBS.
Right.
Because the Five Doctors is not episodic. It's a movie version. It's an omnibus. And for some reason, Lionheart sold it as a 4-part story. So I still remember, like, episode 1 ends with Sarah falling down the hill, for example. But in general, Five Doctors, I taped it and I watched that thing to death back in the day. So absolutely Five Doctors for me.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it depends on what you taped. And I only had one tape at the time that I would basically just record it, watch it, and then record over it again, unless I really liked it, apparently, in which case I would record the next one after that.
Tapes were expensive, man.
Tapes were expensive in those days, and we were just kids. And
EP was your friend.
Yeah, I still have that VHS tape. I will never get rid of that because that was based on my whole life. I even saved the VCR remote. The VCR is long gone, but the VCR remote I saved that, knowing that this thing is responsible for so much of my life. And the one VHS tape I have had a whole bunch of stuff, like I don't know, it had Inferno and other stuff on there, and then up to it, like Planet of Fire, stuff that would be recorded over. So like there are like chunks of segments of episodes that I remember more than like the last 50 odd minutes of the Two Doctors is very familiar to me because that's what was left when I taped it over with something else, because it's like a 6-part story essentially. But at the very beginning of that tape is Attack of the Cybermen, and for some reason I liked Attack of the Cybermen enough to not tape over it, and I only had one tape of Doctor Who stuff. And so Attack of the Cybermen is far and away my most watched Doctor Who story. I could almost recite that thing in my sleep. David, you're right, David. Like the music cues, everything to that
Tall,
stupid
dark,
story.
would shoot a man just to keep his trigger finger supple. There's some great lines in the Attack of the Cybermen. Like,
there's
really
some good lines. Yeah, there are too. And honestly, let's face it. Every November 23rd. Since 1991, apart from one time in 2002 when I was playing a hockey game at the exact moment, I have watched An Unearthly Child. That is like over 30 years. So I've seen the first episode of Doctor Who at least 30 times. And let me tell you, quite a few more times than that too.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So that very first episode, I'm not going to say I'm bored with it. Like, it's still a magical thing to hit play and like, wow, this happened this time in history, this exact moment. But like, you know, once we're starting to see the Susan flashbacks, I know how this goes.